Heyo, Tish here, and this is a review of FuRyu's Trio-Try-iT figures of Yui, Azusa, Mio, Ritsu, and Tsumugi from K-On! After watching and reading the series back in 2023, save for the very limited releases of Yui, Mio, and Azusa figures from Taito's Coreful line, K-On! Hadn't received any licensed figures since 2017. The series was long since out of the limelight. Its anime adaptation finished in 2011, and while K-On! Shuffle was and is still releasing, it hadn't reached as many people as the original series. It seemed its time had come and gone. That is, until FuRyu announced these Trio-Try-iT figures of Yui and Azusa in 2024. These weren't some limited release like the prior Coreful figures. These were standard releases that could be won from arcades, pre-ordered from distributors, and easily purchased on the second-hand market. Fans were quick to question whether the other members of Ho-kago Tea Time would be made. Taito's Coreful line failed to release Ritsu and Tsumugi, so would FuRyu do the same? Only time could tell, and 1 year later our prayers were heard. FuRyu announced Mio, Ritsu, and Tsumugi, and us fans rejoiced. Now it's 2026, and we are eating so good right now. There's Good Smiles Pop-Up Parade L's, Sega Faves Yume Mizure's, Sega Faves Luminastas, Vision's Chill Figs, and even FuRyu's Buy Cute Dark lines. With so much choice among modern K-On! Figures, why did I choose FuRyu's Trio-Try-iT line, and are they worth it? Let's take a closer look. FuRyu's Trio-Try-iT figure line aims to provide the trio of quality, size, and modeling while challenging themselves to be as expressive as possible with their figures. The theme appears to be a cat-made cafe with outfits Sawako would definitely make. That said, these designs appear to be entirely original and not derived from any existing source material. While all 5 members are wearing maid outfits with cat ears, each of them have differences in their colors and sculpt that show their individuality. At a glance, I'd say the most noticeable difference aside from different color palettes is their choice of legwear. Just like their Sakura High school uniforms, Yui wears black leggings, Azusa and Mio wear black knee-highs, and Ritsu wears crew socks. Tsumugi also wears crew socks, but I guess they opted for thigh highs here. As for color scheme, each member appears to represent a different pattern of cat, highlighted in their ears, tail, and badge. Yui for calico, Azusa for black and white, Ritsu for an orange tabby, and Tsumugi for white. In addition, their tie and ribbons are color-coded, but they don't appear to be consistent with previously established image colors like the boxes of these figures might have you think. While Mio, Ritsu, and Tsumugi retain their image colors of blue, yellow, and pink, Yui and Azusa have orange and red, whereas their image colors are red and green. It's also noteworthy that only Azusa's bow is tied on the right instead of the left. I think it's because originally only Yui and Azusa were going to be released, but popular demand incentivized FuRyu to produce the rest. In hindsight, it was a bit unfortunate, but they still look great as a set otherwise. Looking at their outfits, I have to commend FuRyu for giving each member small differences in their sculpt. They could have given them all the exact same maid outfit, but they went above and beyond. There's too much to list, so here's what they look like, my visual learners. Similarly, each of them have their own cat pose and expression that shows just a bit of their personality. Mugi looks enthusiastic to be here, and Mio looks hesitant. Ritsu has her cheeky smile, and where Yui is happy-go-lucky, Azusa appears to be blushing red. These weren't considerations I made when I decided to collect this set, but I've certainly gained a whole new appreciation for them now that they're in front of me. Proportion-wise, these figures stand between 23 and 24 centimeters tall, with the base, said base adding 1.5 centimeters. Based on their canonical heights, this puts them between 1/8 and 1/7 scale. Mio and Mugi appear to be a bit too close in height, but everyone else is shorter as expected. Where all of the figures appear to be at the same eye level, Mugi appears to be looking upward, which makes her optimal viewing angle slightly different from the others. One nitpick I have is the support block for Azusa, which really stands out against the black decal on the base. I presume this is why the later releases like Mio, Ritsu, and Tsumugi were changed to black, so it's unfortunate no changes were made to Azusa's re-release. Actually, Yui doesn't even use a support block. Across all 5 figures, I had no issues with them fitting into the base, which I have to applaud FuRyu for. Alright, I've given mostly praise for these figures, but it's time to discuss quality control. With 5 figures from the same product line and manufacturer, this is the best sample size I have of FuRyu's prize figure quality. So let's see. Across all 5 figures, mold lines are very visible, but of varying degrees. The ones on Yui's right arm are especially terrible, both in how noticeable and wavy they appear. The white paint applied to the frills at the end of the aprons are rough and are more apparent on Azusa and Mugi's because of their darker colors. Yui's sash being painted on as opposed to being color separated suffers from orange being a fickle color to paint with. Mio and Mugi's left hands appear to have dirt or paint stains on them, which I have left untouched for this review, but if they're removable, I'll show them now. There appears to be some paint transfer on Yui's hair. The worst QC issue I have is on Azusa, where there are some deep scratches or paint on her face. It's the last place I'd want any QC issues to be, so it's rather unfortunate. Before concluding this video, I'd like to address bootlegs and what to look out for when purchasing authentic figures online or in person. As I mentioned in my Fanime 2026 video, both Yui and Azusa were re-released in 2025 and received updated packaging best identified by their larger boxes, so don't be alarmed. I would check if the box has the FuRyu logo, series copyright, and warning labels printed on the box. Then, see what stickers are on the box like TBS Animation's holographic sticker, the distributor sticker, and the date of manufacture, and any additional warning stickers. The figure itself should have copyright info molded into the base, and bootlegs will have lower quality paint and sculpt. To sum up, it's no surprise I'm quite satisfied with this set of Trio-Try-iT figures. The cat-made concept is well executed in sculpt and paint for prize figures at a good size. However, they are ultimately prize figure quality and don't exceed my expectations in this price bracket. I think $30 USD each is the right price for this quality, and past $40 USD is overpaying. As I mentioned at the beginning, there are other options for new K-On! Figures, so consider this set only if you like the cat-made concept these offer. And with that, this is Tish, signing off.